So with circles, a few things you should know about circles. First of all, this one here, this diagram, O represents the center of the circle. Okay? And that's important when we talk about R and D. Okay? What does D represent? Robbie? Diameter, right? And how would we define the diameter? You don't have to know these definitions, but it's a segment from one point to another point on the circle. But I'm missing a couple of words. It's not quite. You know, yep. And it goes through the center perfectly. Has to go through the center. Otherwise, it's a different type of, it's something else. We call it something else. We're not going to worry about right now. R stands for radius. And it's a segment from the center to a point on the circle. How many radii, that's the plural of radius, are in a circle? Infinite, right? You can just keep drawing them and keep drawing them. What's the relationship between the radius and the diameter? Robbie? The radius is half the diameter, so we can say 1/2 times diameter. And the diameter is 2 times the radius, or 2r. What does it mean to find the circumference of a circle? Yeah. Distance around the circle. And if we take the circumference of any circle and divide it by its diameter, what number do we always get? Pi, right? And the more accurately we divide, the more accurate the number is, but we'll never get a number, we'll never get a perfect number, okay? We'll get a decimal number that never repeats and never ends. So we just use 3.14. Remember, that's approximate. And we use this information to actually find formulas for the area and circumference. Do you remember circumference of a circle? There's actually two formulas you could use. There's pi times diameter, or pi d, or that's area actually. Right, or we say 2 pi r. And you just said the area of the circle, pi r squared. Okay. You should be familiar with those formulas. So let's look at a couple of examples. Something that you may not be familiar with, or you may be, I don't know if you took it in middle school or not, but let's see. So here's an example. Calculate the circumference of a circle that has a radius of 5 centimeters. Round your answer to 1 decimal place. Okay? Yep.
So the formula is pi d.
Okay, so you're going to use pi d, yeah.
And then I did 3.14 times 10.
Times 10. Yeah.
And then that equals to 31.4 centimeters.
Yeah. That'll work. Okay. You could have used 2 pi r, and you get the same answer. Okay. Yes, you can use 3.14, but all of you guys should have a scientific calculator, and you should get used to using the pi key on your calculator because it's a little bit more accurate. There should be a pi key on everybody's calculator. Okay. I mean, 3.14 is still correct. Okay. There is another way to show your answer. And it's actually easier. Okay? It doesn't really require that much math. We could do the same thing, pi times diameter, but this time, we're actually not going to do the multiplication. We're going to leave it, and the way that we leave it is we write the number first and then the pi symbol after. We leave it as 10 pi. That's actually a more accurate answer. Okay? And we're going to use this, we're going to use terms of pi, it's called, in future years of math, because it's more exact to work with. So we would just do that, 10 pi centimeters, and stop. So if you're asked to express your answer in terms of pi, leave it there. If you're asked to round it, that means you're going to use a calculator and then actually do 10 times 3.14, 10 times the pi key, and round it to whatever you're asked to. Okay? And you can do the same thing with area. So what we're going to do, we've got an area that has, we've got a circle that has a diameter of 14 centimeters. We're asked to find the area, and we're asked to express our answer in 2 ways. Terms of pi, it's called, so you leave the pi symbol in your answer. And then the numerical answer, where you use your calculator and you round to 2 decimal places. So what's the formula for area of a circle again? Pi r squared. So we've got to replace r with the radius, which would be 7. And order of operations that we just took, we always do the exponent first. So we're going to get pi times 49, but the way we write it is 49 pi. And then you can stop there and put your units. Centimeters squared. So this is terms of pi. Okay? So we've answered that way. To actually find the numerical answer, plug in 3.14 or the pi key, multiply, and round your answer to 2 decimal places. Anybody got it?
Or 153. Point
Nine?
or, oh wait,
2 decimal places.
oh, yeah, wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, 24.
And did you use the pi key or 3.14? Did anybody use 3.14? If so, did you get the same answer?
I might have typed it in wrong.
Why are you guys so like, what's going on? Like this is probably wrong, or I might have typed it in wrong. You guys got to be more confident.
I got 122.5 centimeters. But I probably did type it in wrong.
In this case, yeah, you might have done. Okay, somebody do times 3.14. I'm just curious to see if you get the same thing.
0.14.
Yes.
53.8. That's 6.
Okay, so you do get a slightly different answer. So this is terms of pi. I mean, I would accept both answers. Okay, if you did 3.14, I would accept it. So this is numerical. Okay. How about, I don't know if you did these or not, semicircles.
Oh,
You guys done semicircles?
yeah.
Okay. So you are asked to find the perimeter or circumference of a semicircle that has a radius of 2. So it's going to look like this. With a radius of 2. Yep.
Formula is 2 pi r divided by 2.
Pi r, which is the formula for the circumference, divided by 2. That's all you're going to do? Okay. I heard somebody say plus. Now I'm hearing mumbling. Doesn't this just find this? Aren't you have to find the perimeter of the whole shape? So don't we have to add? So we have to add a diameter. So technically, that would be the formula for the circumference of a semicircle. So yes, you would go 2 pi r divided by 2 to get the curved portion, but then you would have to add a diameter. And really, this, the 2's cancel each other out. So you could just do pi times the radius and then add, so pi times the radius, which is, what's the radius?
4?
Yeah. Plus the diameter, which is 4, yeah. Okay. No, radius is 2. Sorry. I'm mistaken. Now, if you want to leave it in terms of pi, although it did ask you for the numerical answer, you could stop there and then just put 2 pi plus 4 meters. You can't add the 2 pi and the 4. You could only put them together if they both had pi's. But we're asking the numerical answer. 2 decimal places. Yeah. 0.28. Okay. Meters.
Wait, I didn't say that.
Okay. 10.28. 10.28. Good. And finally, if you're asked to work backwards, you're given the area and you're asked to find the radius or the diameter, or you're given the circumference and you're asked to find the radius or the diameter. Any idea here? Anybody think they got the radius?
Is it
Is it?
9?
Okay, how'd you get that?
I think,
You're right.
I did,
Don't be so shocked.
first I did area equals, I can remember, 81
Yeah.
centimeters squared.
Yeah.
I think this is a minus, or times 3.14. I think or minus, or, divided by, well, divided by 5.
What, are you checking with your lawyers?
I did it, here.
I know, it is kind of hard to explain.
251.3 centimeters squared.
And then you divided that.
Okay. Well, I think I did it slightly but on
I have no clue what you said at the end of that sentence. You just faded right away. Okay. How about this? Doesn't this equal pi r squared?
Yeah.
Well, pi equals pi, doesn't it? So doesn't the radius squared have to equal 81?
Yeah.
So what times itself gives you 81? 9. So that way you can do it with, I mean, whatever method you use. I mean, if it works, do it. But you don't have to actually use 3.14 if you don't want to. Okay? So if you see something like this, okay, you know the pi's are the same, so that means that r squared must be 81, and then you find r from there. Okay? Okay, good. I think